Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Newswave. My name is Devan Karp, and today is Friday, April 16th, 2021. Here are today's top stories. After a year of changes due to the pandemic, campus activities of all types are finding their way and adjusting to our new normal. Residential life and admissions tour guides have significantly adjusted their system to accommodate for the COVID-19 health and safety regulations. Tours now have a very limited number of group sizes. Assistant Director of Admissions, Hillary Everts, explains that each prospective student is allowed 3 guests with 3 families allowed per tour guide. Despite this limited number of guests, events say that tours have been able to become a lot more personable, and families are able to get that personal attention and have a unique, tailored visit. The other significant area of change occurred in the residential life department. The Trinitonian reports that in order to accommodate all students on or off campus during the pandemic, the residential life staff applied certain RAs to off-campus and virtual learning students. Junior and second-year RA Marissa Young reflects on these transitions to becoming a virtual RA, saying it added an extra challenge to the RA role because ResLife had to figure out how to help these students connect to the part of the Trinity community despite their various home life situations. With the coronavirus beginning to come under control, campus is preparing to turn to a new normal semester. Both admissions and residential life are getting ready to adjust again and are looking into maintaining some of the changes brought on by the pandemic. Last Friday, Trinity hosted their annual talent show Spotlight. I had a wonderful time emceeing the event, and our very own Martin Lee was a performer as well. He shares his thoughts and as well as some key moments from the event.
Hi, my name is Rosie Bargas-Schaefer, and I'm a sophomore at Trinity. I'm Student Programming Board's Assistant Co-Chair for the Entertainment team. I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all a little bit about our annual talent show that we put on last week, Spotlight. So this normally happens, and it's a massive event on campus where everyone gets to perform and show off their skills, but obviously the pandemic has changed things. Spring semester 2020, we weren't able to have Spotlight because of the pandemic, and we were all off campus, so this was the first time we were able to have it in the recent years. So we were able to put on a virtual and in-person option with limited in-person attendance. The performers did their performances twice, so there were 2 different time slots that individuals could sign up for, and we gave out free picnic blankets as the giveaway, so they were able to socially distance sit on the intramural field, and people were also able to sign up and attend on Zoom with our SUB members managing the tech for that. We also provided food from Pizza Classics and Wayne's Wings to local Trinity staples, and people attending in person or virtually were able to pick those up, again, socially distanced outside. Obviously, there were some setbacks when we were planning this event, but it ended up going really well, and everyone seemed to have a lot of fun. We were able to showcase so many very talented Trinity students and even some artists with a virtual art show. So stay on the lookout for more SPB events. You can stay up to date with our Instagram, which is TU_SPB. Thank you.
This is Newswave. Martin Lee reports.
Trinity University's Office of Academic Affairs will be facing a new era starting in June. Working currently at St. Mary's College in California, Megan Mustaine will be the new Vice President of Academic Affairs. Mustaine, a native San Antonian, is excited to return to South Texas, where she says that Trinity has only become an even stronger and even more beautiful institution in her time away. Although the plan is to continue to work virtually throughout the summer, academic affair administrators plan to go on a listening tour to help her with a welcoming environment, where she can ask questions and hear from the Trinity community. Mustaine seeks to set up a strategic direction, providing guiding principles and new goals for the department. She plans to set up conditions for faculty to do their best in research and teaching that brings students an optimal amount of success and holistic well-being. Mustaine understands the value of sacred classroom moments and believes that any time a faculty member is with a group of students, they can do something life-changing. Well, the Trinity community mourns a beloved member of the facility services team, Lucia Mendoza, who died tragically this past Friday. Lucia Mendoza was driving home with her 2 daughters, aged 14 and 7, when she was attacked by another driver in a fit of road rage. The driver, who fled the scene, fired a gun at the family's moving vehicle, killing Mendoza and injuring her 14-year-old daughter. Police are still searching for the attacker, and our thoughts and prayers are with Lucida's family. Coming up after the break, we have a look at Trinity's dance class registration process becoming more gender inclusive, plus news from across Texas. Be sure to stick with us.
This is our home. This is our studio, filled with empty seats and cameras waiting to press record again. With remote classes and the COVID-19 pandemic, it's hard not to feel like we've lost a community on campus. When we're not on campus, it's hard to feel home. But home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And here at Tiger TV, we're bringing that feeling to you. Because while our studio is waiting for us, we haven't stopped bringing you the shows you need. Get involved with some of our diverse programming like Newswave, Studio 21, and The Not So Late Show. Tune in to our YouTube and Vimeo channels if you miss some of the quality campus television programming we make. Just because we're remote, that doesn't mean we're not still together. Because here, home is more than just a place. Home is Tiger TV.
Trinity dance class registrations have now been updated to increase inclusivity, allowing students to enroll as a leader or a follower rather than a male or a female in dance sections. Prior to this change, gender-based format caused concern and discomfort for transgender and non-binary students who wanted to enroll in these classes. Due to this, Trinity's transgender and non-binary support group moved to fix this issue. But the changes just don't stop there, as this new inclusive approach will go into future class structure as well. These changes, along with others some are taking, are examples of the actions of Trinity University is trying to be towards becoming a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive campus. At least one person is dead, but several others injured after a mass shooting in Bryan, Texas last Thursday. CNN reports.
Police in Bryan, Texas, arriving to an industrial business park Thursday afternoon responding to 911 calls of a shooting at Kentmore Cabinets.
Officers responded to the scene and arrived in a fairly short period of time. However, the shooter had gone by the time officers got here.
Police, unable to immediately locate the shooter, found one person dead at the scene. 4 others were transferred to a nearby hospital in critical condition, according to the Bryan police chief. Another was taken to the hospital in non-critical condition. One person was taken to the hospital because of an asthma attack.
It's very complex because you have a whole number of workers at the warehouse, and so we're sorting through all that and interviewing witnesses and talking to people that know what happened.
Amelia Rodriguez says she is a painter at Kentmore Cabinets, and when the shooting started, she thought it was a machine that often acts up.
I was painting with my co-worker, and I heard like boom, 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 boom. I said, oh, the machine got messed up again. So I tried to walk to figure out which one. And when I start walking, somebody grabbed me. He's like, no, we need to run because there's a shooting going on.
In neighboring Grimes County, a Texas Department of Public Safety trooper shot while pursuing a suspect believed to be involved in the shooting in Bryan. One person in custody following that shooting, according to the Grimes County Sheriff. The shooter's motive still under investigation. I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
According to the CDC, nearly 1/3 of residents in Texas have received the coronavirus vaccine, myself included. More than 8.8 million of the state's residents have received the first vaccine, and more than 5.2 million of the state's residents have been fully vaccinated. According to the data provided by Johns Hopkins University, the daily rate of new infections of the virus dropped by 12.1%. According to this trend of declining infection rates, we all hope the pandemic will be over in the near future. As many migrant families try to cross the El Paso, Mexico border, most are being sent back to shelters in Mexico by U.S. border guard officials. CNN recently got to talk with residents at a new shelter in Juarez. Take a look.
Beds lined close together in a dimly lit gym. It's not the most inviting home, but for the people staying here, it's a welcoming shelter.
Aquí, gracias a Dios, nos sentimos bien. Como no nos habíamos sentido.
Yoselyn Alvarez is from Guatemala, but COVID slowing her business down and threats of extortion convinced her to take her 7-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son to America. But she was misinformed about the situation at the border.
Entonces, por eso pensamos, porque nos dijeron que estaba abierto para que uno viniera. Entonces nos hubieran dicho que si no nos iban a aceptar, hubieran dicho. Porque así uno no viene a pasar penas.
Alvarez was brought to this shelter after being expelled. She sleeps in cot 10, and right next to her, another woman from Guatemala. Haiti Marisol Mayen. She made a daring journey to the U.S.
Arriesga uno a sus hijos y uno. Y a pasar al río Bravo donde nos tiraron. Caminé 4 horas para encontrar migración. 4 horas fue bastante porque a veces chineaba, agarraba a la nena.
To many, the journey may sound like the worst part, but for Mayen, the worst part was being in Border Patrol custody. She says the shelter only had juice and cookies, nothing substantial to eat.
Bueno, va a ser por unos días nada más.
She is then put on a plane and flown to El Paso, where she says immigration agents told her she will not be deported, only to be sent to Mexico once they landed.
O sea, ellos supuestamente defienden a los niños. Y entonces si defienden a los niños, ¿por qué nos mandan así a ver que nos secuestren? A ver qué pasa de nosotros solos en México que no tenemos papeles.
Now Haiti and Jocelyn sit locked out of the United States, thinking of what to do next.
Yo esperando poder salir de aquí, pero todavía no sé qué hacer. Que no estoy incomunicada, entonces no sé qué hacer ahorita. Pero sí me quiero regresar a mi país.
After the break, we have news from across the country, plus an update on Trinity sports from Kyle. Don't go anywhere.
We've all been there. Seeing people not follow the rules, watching some wayward citizen breaking the law. Well, not the law, but basically the law. Today, I'm going to show you how to be a COVID superhero. Okay, sound a little weird, but anyways, here are some things that you should watch out for. If you don't represent a household, then you must socially distance. Look at these guys over here. Gotcha. I caught him. When you're indoors, you must always wear a mask. Flush, and I don't think she washed her hands. Remember, after using the restroom, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or sanitize. Oh, hey! Oh, God! And finally, if you have any symptoms of COVID, but you're not really sure what it is, always make sure to stay home! And that's all, folks.
Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh and the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, died at age 99 on April 9th. Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth had been married for 73 years. Philip's funeral will be held at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, but there will not be a state funeral and the Duke will not lie in state due to the COVID-19 pandemic, making such arrangements more difficult. Leaders around the world paid their respects to Prince Philip, including United States President Joe Biden and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Philip was born on the Greek island of Corfu before moving to Paris and then England, where he met the Queen and became a naturalized British citizen in 1947. Rest in peace, Prince Philip. On a lighter note, we now take it to Kyle for all things sports. Kyle?
Hey, thanks, Devin. We had another week full of Tiger Athletics back in action. We'll start with women's tennis as they downed St. Thomas this past weekend 8-1. Seniors Zoe and Mary Caffin led the team with their excellent play in both their singles matchups, while first-year Kate Cushing prevailed in her singles matchup as well. The Tigers only dropped one singles match while sweeping their doubles matches to improve to 6-6 on the season and remain undefeated against D3 competition. The squad looks to host a doubleheader here tomorrow against conference opponents Southwestern and Shriner. And we move to the men's side as they also faced St. Thomas this past weekend with similar results to the women. The Tigers managed to sweep the Celts and improve to 9-6 on the season, and they remain undefeated in conference play. The dynamic duo of Hao Win and Christian Settles completed the shutout in their doubles performance to lead the way for the team. Tomorrow, the squad is back in action again as they host a doubleheader at Butch Newman Tennis Center. Trinity Softball hosted Centenary College last weekend, where senior Allie Holbrook earned the shutout as she only allowed 7 base runners in the matchup. Brooke Porter managed 2 RBI single in the 4th inning to push the lead to 2, while a Centenary error gave the Tigers an additional run to push the advantage to 3. The team looks to keep the momentum going and string together some conference wins as they go on the road this weekend to face Shriner and Southwestern. The women's soccer team remained perfect in an absolute thriller this past weekend as their match with Centenary went into double overtime. Despite 30 shots on goal for the Tigers, only Bailey Meyer's last gasp kick with just 7 seconds remaining saw the back of the net. It was Meyer's first career goal, and at a no better time than to see the team notch their 7th straight win. Trinity will ride the good vibes into this weekend as it begin conference tournament play in a quarterfinal matchup against Shriner at Paul McGinley Field tomorrow at 1. To round out the week, baseball dropped just their 2nd game of the season against Shriner last Saturday after managing a high-scoring affair in the first half of their doubleheader. Senior Mason Meredith collected 4 base hits along with 4 RBIs, as sophomore Ezra Gore managed 2 hits and 3 RBIs in the 14-12 win before falling 8-7 in the 2nd game. The team travels up to UT Dallas tomorrow in a 3-game series. The track and field team competed at the UIW Invitational last weekend, where sophomore Kira Francois set a new school mark in the women's hammer throw, and junior Tanner Lacey set a new school record in the men's pole vault. Sophomore Elijah Wade earned a new career best in the triple jump, while junior Sean Majors climbed to 3rd all-time in school history in the 400 meters. The team looks to travel to Kingsville this weekend to compete in the Cactus Cup. That is all I have for you folks this week. Make sure to tune in next Friday for your weekly dose of Tiger Athletic News. Thanks.
Thanks for the update, Kyle. Coming up, we have a Texas man who just finished a cross-country run to raise awareness for diabetes. Plus, a look at the world of entertainment with Mia. Stay tuned.
We've all been there. Seeing people not follow the rules, watching some wayward citizen breaking the law. Well, not the law, but basically the law. Today, I'm going to show you how to be a COVID superhero. Okay, sound a little weird, but anyways, here are some things that you should watch out for. If you don't represent a household, then you must socially distance. Look at these guys over here.
Gotcha.
I caught him. When you're indoors, you must always wear a mask. Flush, and I don't think she washed her hands. Remember, after using the restroom, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or sanitize. Oh, hey! Oh, God! And finally, if you have any symptoms of COVID, but you're not really sure what it is, always make sure to stay home! And that's all, folks.
A Texas man has just finished a cross-country run starting at Disneyland in California and ending at Disney World in Florida. Here's CNN with the details.
I had no idea. Until he heard the cheers, Don Muchow didn't know what to expect.
The security guard said, "Oh, are you the runner?" And I thought, "Oh my God, you know, here's the escort off Disney property." And
he ran from Disneyland in California to Disney World in Florida, and getting a big welcome at the Magic Kingdom, he felt his spirit lifted.
I love you guys. This is the best surprise in the world.
Don's 59, he's an Ironman athlete from Texas, and he's nearing the finish line of a truly cross-country run. He planned to start at the Pacific and end in the Atlantic Ocean. Stopping at the Disney parks was a happy accident born from a conversation with a confused friend.
And he said, well, so I assume you're running from Disneyland to Disney World? And I hadn't actually thought about it that way.
As a fan, though, including Disney was a great fit, and he says the push he needed to finish the last leg.
I've just been on cloud 9 since then.
His biggest motivator, though, the reason he's running about 2,800 miles across the country, he wants to show his type 1 diabetes isn't holding him back. And after decades of defying limitations from the disease, he wants to prove to others they can too.
Make that choice rather than the choice of fear.
After seeing all the sights a run across America has to offer,
I'm starting to sort of ride that wave of hope to the shore.
He's looking forward to taking in this one to finish off his journey.
We now take it over to Mia for a look at what's trending in the world of entertainment.
Thanks, Devin. Well, you're going to want to stay tuned for all the exciting things happening this week in the world of entertainment. To start off, if you've seen our recent shows here at Newswave, then you will remember mention of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how it is a very exciting year for the fans. One of the most highly anticipated films is Black Widow's very own film, which serves as a prequel to the Avengers movies. The release date for the movie is July 9th of this year. However, if you don't feel comfortable returning to theaters yet, or if you just don't have time, Disney has announced an option to watch the movie from home for just $30 on the same release date. According to CNN, this development has sparked more speculation on whether or not more cinematic studios will be joining in the shift to a streaming method. One thing's for sure though, and that is that COVID-19 will not be keeping people from receiving the entertainment they want. Up next in the world of entertainment, fans of the late Chadwick Boseman are looking forward to a brand new special honoring the actor that will premiere on Netflix on April 17th. Boseman, known for his roles in movies such as Black Panther and Da 5 Bloods, died this past summer due to colon cancer at the tender age of 43. According to Deadline.com, participants in the special offering their insight into their time with Boseman include co-stars Viola Davis, Glenn Turnman, and Taylor Page, along with directors Tate Taylor, Spike Lee, and many more. Well, I look forward to watching this special, and I encourage you all at home to check it out as well. On a lighter note, you've probably heard the hit song Driver's License, written and performed by the 18-year-old Olivia Rodrigo. The song took the world by storm not only because it is beautifully sung and extremely catchy, but also because of the drama behind the song. In fact, many people speculate that the song was written about her High School the Musical, series co-star Joshua Bassett. While fans have even more to buzz about now because Rodrigo has just announced the name and release date of her debut album. According to Entertainment Tonight, Sour will be released on May 21st. Well, I personally can't wait to hear the album, and we'll see if any more drama emerges after the songs are released. Finally, in the world of entertainment, Wayne "The Rock" Johnson is a man with many titles to his name, including father, husband, athlete, and actor, but he could potentially be adding presidential candidate to the list. According to Fox News, Johnson has expressed certain aspirations to be involved in politics before, and now the star claims that he isn't against the idea of running for president. This statement arrived in light of a recent wide-scale internet poll, which resulted in a huge show of support for the idea of Johnson as president. Later in his own social media response, Johnson said that he was humbled and that it would be an honor to serve America. Well, only time will tell if we'll be seeing Johnson in the 2024 presidential election. Well, that's all I have for you this week. This has been Mia Hammond, and thank you for joining me here on Entertainment News.
Thanks, Mia. In case you missed Daniela John's latest spring gardening tips, here's another look.
Hi, I'm Daniela John, and let's talk tulips. My mom found these tulip plants propagated in water on sale, so she bought 2 vases. Tulips are a very interesting flower. Although many people equate tulips to the Netherlands, they are actually native to Asia. Tulips are part of the lily family and consist of 150 species. They are said to signal spring as they are one of the first plants to begin to bloom. Unfortunately, tulips only bloom for 3 to 7 days. However, if you cut the stem from the bulb, the flowers will survive for a little longer. As you can see, my tulips flowered and wilted very quickly. We removed the stem and began drying the bulbs for a few days to plant in our yard. Here we have some sunflowers growing under our bird feeder. If they get picky, they'll throw the seeds, providing us with new blooms. Call upon your canine helpers and begin digging a hole of about 8 inches. Then you can cover your bulbs with dirt and hope for a bloom early next spring.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Make sure to tune in on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. to watch Newswave on our YouTube channel, Vimeo channel, and your local television. I'm Devan Karp, wishing you a happy Friday and a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you right back here next week.